The truth behind why they want the unions to fail. It's Friday at the Labor Network. I'm Mark Harrison, and WTF is next. In the late 1950s, labor in our country was in its heyday. Fully 1/3 of the working class of Americans were union members. Unions were courted for their power, for the way they could reach their membership. Politicians of all stripes curried favor with union heads in the mid-1960s. President Lyndon Johnson counted Walter Reuther, then the head of the all-powerful United Auto Workers Union, as a close advisor. Indeed, union membership meant something for Americans. It meant a good living, solid pay and benefits, vacations, and a new car when the old one wore out, retirement, a chance to help the kids do better. But to many outsiders looking in, it was far too many people working far too closely together. Increasingly, members of the black and brown communities became members of the unions. And when it came time to negotiate a new contract, black and brown and white, women and men stood shoulder to shoulder and said, "This is what we want," and for the most part, that was what they got. And when the business down the street saw what happened at the union shop, they would quietly give their workers a bigger share of the pie in order to keep the union out. And then someone on the right took note. All of these folks have power in their togetherness. They all work together in spite of their skin color or gender. Bingo. And so began the slow, methodical, legislative and judicial dismantling of Americans' unions' rights. And with it, the increasing divide in a country between people of color and the white working class. Unions bring people together. Unions don't see race. Unions don't see gender. Unions see workers. And when they work together, there's pretty much nothing within reason that they can't accomplish. You see, the recent vote at the Amazon warehouse in Bessemer, Alabama, where the workforce is mostly made up of people of color, failed because the system is now vigorously and viciously rigged against unions. But also because many decades ago, a certain faction of our powerful elite realized that unions coalesced power in the hands of the many. And that was truly a dangerous idea and threatened their hold on power. If you wanted to increase your power and your wealth, you needed a divided republic in which to do that. And unions had to go. Promise the white worker he'll do great things for him. Hell, tell him you'll make America great again. Cloak that in a racist message, and boom, you've got the working class divided, and you can proceed to take away even more of their power. And for those of you who were duped by that message, I hope you learned from your mistakes as you watched Donald Trump and his revolving door of thugs and con artists steal from you after making promises to clean up that swamp. The PRO Act, which stands for Protecting the Right to Organize, has the ability to reverse half a century of erosion of union power. It has the ability to bring together people from all races and genders and once again give them a voice in Washington, D.C. If I were you, I'd take a real interest in how you can take charge as individuals by coming together with one voice, regardless of the differences you're being told to pay attention to. I would stop listening to the vitriol coming out of the right-wing media outlets and look for some facts on which to base your thinking. Stop letting Tucker Carlson think for you. If I were you, I would get to know the PRO Act, and I would email and call my senator right now and tell them to support that bill. I'm Mark Harrison, and I'll see you next week on Labor This Week.